Alliance War, Season 22, second war of the new season, and we're bringing in Omega Red, Sabretooth, Guillotine 2099. We got Suicides back on, so we're hitting hard. We're going with Suicide-friendly champs, and we're facing an opponent today who elected to use the Flow defensive global tactic. So every time I crit, I'm going to be giving them a power gain buff up to 3, but that's why I brought Guillotine in. She doesn't crit, so I'm never going to activate that buff. So I really don't have to worry about the defensive tactic at all here, which is nice. Even though Ghost is a Flow tactic defender, she would be benefiting from the power gain buffs. She's not, because Guillotine doesn't crit. So this fight is going to be a little bit long because I'm just going to go in to ramp her up. Anything after 100 hits, she's dealing a lot of energy damage and starts hitting like a truck. But getting to that point takes a little bit. So I heavied 5 times to get my combo protector up. So even if I do stumble and I happen to take a hit here, even if I take 5 hits, I'm not going to lose my combo meter, which is what I really care about. So the goal here is to end this fight with the special 3. I don't launch any specials before it because I have the Suicide Masteries on, and because that's going to give me 5% damage in recoil. So this Ghost is a little passive in this fight. Like right here, I'm trying to bait her SP2 for a while, and she's throwing some heavies, and I'm dexterity out of the attack, and she's kind of mixing in some mediums. She's not really throwing her special, and finally I get backed up against the wall here, and she finally throws it. So I definitely felt some relief there because Ghost is pretty simple, not a tough defender, but I just never fight well with my back against the wall, and you don't want to lose that spacing. So it scared me for a second, but we're all good now. We're up to 52 hits. The fight's almost 2 minutes in, and just get her down to 5%, drop the L3. This is going to finish her off in 59 hits, though, basically. So it took a bit. The first fight always takes some time. I lost about 8% health, pretty much just through block damage. But we get the full attack bonus. We continue on. And now Guillotine is going to be hitting like a truck. So in this war, I've actually got a lot less fights than I did in the first war of the season. So we're only going to have 4 fights total. And you'll see here in our second fight that this is already in section 2. So we go back on our path, and we've got this Black Widow Clairvoyant. She's a 5-star, rank 5 awakened. And the node here, the only thing you have to worry about is getting debuffs on you. Because once you have 3 or more debuffs, they're going to become unblockable for the duration of the fight, as long as you still have those debuffs on you. So Guillotine is obviously immune to bleed and poison, and Black Widow Clairvoyant Special 1 inflicts bleeds whether or not it hits you. So this is really good placement. But since I'm bringing in an immune champ, I don't have to worry about it, and you'll see it right there. Immune to the debuffs. She doesn't go unblockable, no problem. She would also benefit from the Flow tactic, but again, since Guillotine doesn't crit, don't have to worry about that either. It just wipes out any of the nodes, and this is basically just a straight up Guillotine versus Black Widow Clairvoyant fight. And with those 100 hits on the combo meter, you can see how hard I'm hitting. And I'm actually worried that I'm not even going to be able to get to the special 3 without killing her. It's pretty close. So right here, I get to the special 3, and she's almost at that 5% number. And hitting through the block gets her there. So drop the special 3, guaranteed to kill her. Super easy fight, 25 hits basically. Guillotine ramped up, so good for this node. She's a great counter. And we get that full attack bonus for the second time, and we take her into the next fight. But the truth is, we actually don't use her for the remainder of the war. So we've got her if we need her, but obviously we've got this Terrax up next here. She's got the class disadvantage, so I elect not to bring her, even though Terrax is a control champion, so he still benefits from the Flow tactic, which I didn't actually realize. But Omega Red, I know that he's going to take him down in so few hits, because once I get that degen on him, it's just going to start ticking away, and I'm really not too worried about it. I haven't even crit yet, so I haven't activated it, and I've already hit him, a handful of times. So we got the Death Spores and the degen on. We're kind of just letting it do their job. I launched the heavy here a little early, so I lose the degen, missed the parry, so he's losing a little bit of the Death Spores. I'm hitting him a few more times than I wanted to already, but I still haven't criticaled yet. So he hasn't gained a power gain buff, which is awesome. And it's just kind of sit back and watch him die now. Reapply the degen and Omega Red. Gonna finish him off. Nice and easy. Got that full attack bonus. We continue on. So that will actually bring us to our last fight of the war, which is on the boss island. And we've got this man thing up here, and the node is super simple. It's basically the node that says he's going to gain power quickly below 1 bar, but then gain like nothing after that. So just to be safe, we're going to use the 15% boost you see there. I've had a good war. We're doing really well. I just wanted to kind of ensure that I don't die. And we use Omega Red for obvious reasons. He's immune to the poison that I might get from Man-Thing. And he's just a great counter for like every champ who's not a robot anyway. So we got 12 Death Spores on early. We've got the degen applied. We're going to let the Death Spores accumulate here up to 21, 23. Keep them up, and now the degen's doing a lot of damage. So there's no need to hit him, really. The other thing about this node is that his special 1 is unblockable on the first hit. So that's the only other thing I have to kind of pay attention about. But he's already down to half health here. We're only 14 hits in. I mean, I somehow get hit by that special 1. I thought for sure I had dexterity back off of the first hit, but apparently not. So I take that to the face and takes like 40% of my health. So that was nice. But he's down to 24%, and I get the degen back on here. The Death Spores are down to 12, but they're doing their work. I'm going to try to get some health back here, just in case I need to fight again. Even though this was my last planned fight, I wanted to get some healing back from the special 3, just in case. So we launch it here. Doesn't kill him. We get the Essence Steal, and combo plus the Death Spores. Going to finish him off here. Another full attack bonus, and we finished the war really strong. All clear, all attack bonuses achieved. Felt pretty good. So our plans changed a little bit at the end of this war. I decided that, we decided that I'm gonna take some of the boss here. So I boost up, get some combat regeneration, get some 15% damage, and we've got a Mojo boss. And the reason why I jump in here is because I have the greatest counter in Guillotine. So I'm not going to crit. Mojo is a flow defender, so he would gain those power gain buffs if we criticaled. So I jump in here as the very first attempt, and I'm kind of expecting not to one-shot him. Probably a bad attitude to go in with, but this Mojo's super buff. He's really tough to fight. And my goal is to just basically do as much damage as possible. And since I'm ramped up, I know I'm going to be hitting pretty hard. So I was feeling pretty good. You know, the only thing that I hate is that at the end of this fight, I know I'm going to get my regen buff, which he will most likely nullify. So that's really the biggest downside, is that I know I'm going to degen at some point during this fight at the end. And there's nothing I can do about it because I can't cancel that regeneration buff. So I've got him to the special 2 here, block it, dexterity out of the last hit, and now I know I have that buff, so I know I'm going to degen that, which triggers right there. But it's not like terrible. I lose about 20% health from it. Still going strong. I'm still doing some good damage. I'm launching the special 1 to try to keep his power under control, even though I know I'm going to take recoil damage from it. So I'm going to throw one more here to get his power back down, but you can see the degen took effect. My regen buff came up. He degened that. Down I go. But I managed to get him down to 55% in one try, so I actually thought it was a pretty good success. And we'll see you in the next one.